So the object of this meeting we're going to record here is just to look at some of the economic functions in NDS. And what I did
Okay.
is I pulled up a just a high cow diet from a dairy, and I just wanted to go over the fact that you can put in the price per ton of all these feeds here.
Yep.
And there are some feeds here that may have a mixing price and then they may have a selling price. So that
Yep.
they may be in different colors, but I can also go to feed details and then feed analysis. And let's just make a double check on this. Oops, sorry, wrong screen. Let me close that. Feed details again. And then when feed details is open, there's a feed info tab right here. And so if I click on feed info tab, what it does, it allows me to look at all these different feeds as out of pocket or purchased.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I
as I
use
go down,
this all the time.
okay, let
Yeah.
me do this one track. That's going to be purchased. And the QLF product, that's going to be purchased. And now
Hmm.
this I need to save down here. So once I save that, and I've got a milk price in, these guys have a milk price that they're getting paid a little different on milk, so it's up a bit more than the producers in the area. But if I go to cost, so it's showing me my 565 cost. If I go
Yeah.
to production efficiencies, my target for this dairy up here is 80 pounds of milk with a
Yeah.
3.7 and a 3.1. What I'm actually getting, according to this intake of 53.8, is I'm getting the 81 pounds here, or 80.2 pounds
Yeah.
of, of ME milk, which is my limitation. So down here at the bottom, you can see that my income over feed cost is listed in the white section over here as 835.
Yeah.
Now in the brown area, it's listed as 839. So the
Yeah.
difference is the white area is my projected 80 pounds of milk. The brown
Yeah.
area is the 839, which gives me just a little bit more milk. It's the prediction of the model. So that's showing me 80.2, which is showing me 4 cents more income over feed cost.
Okay.
And then when I listed my purchase feeds, there's my income over purchase feeds listed below.
Yeah.
Now, if I've done my accounting through my all my rations on the dairy and the heifer diets, what I can do is I can go to the tab that allows me to look at the bring in a new recipe. So I'll go to the recipe screen, and
Okay.
then I can find the area for that dairy, and I'll just go ahead. I've done this dairy and saved it in a screenshot. Let me do this dairy, and if I right mouse click on the dairy, it opens up some farm printing options for the farm. And
Okay.
there is some multiple recipes, some one-page recipe reports, and there's the summary of the farm economic report, which I'd like to click on now. And what this is
I
doing,
saw that, but I've never opened it. Yeah.
so what it's doing is it's running and looking at all those recipes that I have on the farm, the heifer diets, the dry cow diets, the however many lactating diets I have that are active on the farm, and it's bringing out the economics for that recipe. And this is one of the features that Buzz and Hermano worked a lot on together. And this is version 1. Version 2 of this will be out pretty soon. But now for this dairy, you can see what it came up with was the number of recipes. So I have a fresh cow diet on this farm, 440 head on the fresh cow diet. This is the high cow ration for pins 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, which is basically 460 cows. The late diet 6, we had them on, but we decided, wow, we should just put those cows on this diet. So it doesn't show any animals on this recipe. We've got 215 in our dries, 90 in our close-ups, and here's the heifer diets I have on farm.
Yep.
Here's the dry matter intake of those pins. Here's the cost per pound of dry matter, which is captured by NDS from the numbers that you put in. Here's the price per head of those recipes. And then here's the purchased cost and total cost to feed those pins of animals.
Okay.
So from here, a producer can look down and say, you know, the total cost for my entire herd on cows, all cows, is right here. And it's costing more 402 for all animals, heifers, cows, dries here. On the lactating cows, all cows, the lactating cows would be up here. So in his scenario, it's costing him $6.46 a day for his 1,900 head lactating cows.
Yep.
12,267. Now, in this farm, we are using the way back here in part of the replacements. So I can see the replacement cost being right here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're eating 13 pounds.
Yeah.
And so now I can go in here and said, my scenario might be that if these cows are eating 55 pounds, this is totally changeable here. And so my 2 pound dry matter intake increase in this group will be adjusted for the total here and then here. And so it's a nice economic way to look at what it's costing him to feed his lactating cows, his dry cows, and his replacements all through this one screen. Totally changeable for the number of head and the number of pounds of intake on the dairy. And another feature they came up with was you can actually revert back to an old recipe to look at some comparisons and some changes. So I could go back and look at a different set of high cow recipes there, and that will be changeable. I think in version 2, what I'm really trying to do is come up with maybe some, we already have predicted milk of these 2 rations. What it's nice to be is to come up with predicted and then actual, and then come up with our feed efficiencies on the total herd here.
Yep.
So again, this is basically just showing you some reports that you can now go into report area and print this off for the dairyman. I did save one other one from the herd we were looking at before. So again, this is a screenshot of that, so it's not interactive, but you can see this producer had 1075 on lactating animals and basically 155 dry. And you can see his dynamics down here.
Oh, yeah.
So again, just look.
Nice. The other thing that's nice, I just noticed that you can flip that out to an Excel file if you want to.
Exactly. Yep. And so I know there were individuals that were saying all of this is in Easy Feed and Feed Watch, and And I know that some of my producers have, easy feed and feed watch, but they don't keep it up to date with prices and dry matter pounds. So we're trying to
Yeah.
do a feed economic snapshot per day for those guys, and
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do with that feature. So again, just wanted to show you that, and that's the herd
That's really nice.
economic summary, and that's version 1. Version 2 will be coming out soon.